Most beginner traders fail for the exact same reason, and if you're not able to fix this, you're never going to be profitable. Now, this issue is so big, yet people fail to even address it in the first place. They're so busy focused on strategy or psychology, yet they don't even focus on this major issue, which I'll explain to you in this video. So what I'm going to do is jump straight onto the charts and go over a few real life examples with you so that you can develop this skill and stop making the same mistake that 99% of traders make. And by the way, I've decided to start a free Telegram where every single day I'll be putting motivation, putting in some trade ideas into that Telegram for completely free. And if you want to join that, hit the first link below in the description. Now, of course, in trading, there's going to be so many mistakes that people make. But in this video, I want to really touch on a mistake which actually impacted me for the longest amount of time. For as long as I can remember, I struggled so much with being patient and waiting for my entry and my supply and demand zones and my higher time frame to all align with each other. And if you can't master patience, if you're someone who is constantly literally itching to take a trade, you're not going to be able to master trading. And that's the truth. You have to be able to master patience. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over everything that I was looking for last week so that you can understand my thought process on the markets, and then you can understand why I was being patient, waiting for these zones, the reasons why I was waiting for these zones, the impact of patience in my trading from last week, how much I made last week, what did I do last week, everything, okay? And it's all based around patience. So that's what I'm going to be covering in this video. Now, I know how important patience is, not just through my own experience, but through the experience of others in my community. We've got a member called Clev, and he's been able to get 500k funded, I think in about 3 to 4 months. He's had loads of trading experience before joining me, but he joined me, he worked on his patience, and that was literally the thing that changed his trading forever. So the point I'm trying to make here is that sometimes the strategy is not the issue. Sometimes you need to find the underlying cause of your problems, and that could be patience. That could be a lack of patience or a lack of discipline in the market. And if you can literally tweak that thing, that could massively improve your trading. So guys, let's go right onto the charts and find out how you could have been more patient on this week, which I'm going to be speaking about today. So guys, let's have a look here on the 24th of February, which was last week. And I'm going to explain to you how I knew to avoid trading on Monday, and also how I had the patience to do so in the first place. Because sometimes, guys, even if you know that you shouldn't be trading, sometimes you're just tempted to trade. Sometimes you're just forcing trades for no reason. And that's not what you want to do. You need to be able to have the discipline and the self-control. That's a really important word, self-control, to avoid trading on days that you know you shouldn't be trading. Because that's a big thing in trading. Is sometimes you do the analysis, you understand that you shouldn't be trading, or you should be waiting for this level or this level. But when it comes to it, you still force trades even though you shouldn't. And that's what you need to be able to avoid doing. So let's have a look here on the daily time frame actually. And I'm going to explain to you first of all why I wasn't actually looking for sells even though we were in a daily supply zone. So the first thing that's really important to note, guys, is I wasn't looking for sells because, as you can clearly see, we have very strong buying pressure to the upside. Now, yes, we were in a supply zone. However, we hadn't seen enough confirmation to actually look for a sell just yet. And that's one of the reasons why I wasn't looking for sells. Now, the second reason why I wasn't also looking for buys, which is also important, is because when Monday begins, guys, you need to understand that the market's literally just opened. You have to let it breathe and do its thing for Monday. And then that way, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday, that's when you're going to know the direction of the market. And that's when you can trade with the highest confidence. So typically on Monday, I don't trade. And that's simply because Mondays normally are not that good, because it's the start of the week. So with all of this in mind, I knew I wasn't going to look for a trade today. However, what people might do if they aren't patient is they might start drawing out demand zones below Asian low, right? They might start drawing out this, and they might start thinking, oh, you know what? Let's go and look for buys here. Let's go and take a trade if price comes into here. And what you're going to see is this just doesn't work. You have to have not only higher time frame bias, but patience to be able to stick to what you say you're looking for. And the same thing goes for here, right? Let's imagine we're looking for a trade now from this demand zone. And guys, yet again, even though we're in a demand zone here, we were against the higher time frame, and because we knew we shouldn't be trading, this is not something I would ever look to trade. And the reason why is simply because at the start of the day, I already knew I wasn't looking to take a trade. And as you can see, this demand zone here would have been disrespected, and yet again, you would have taken an unnecessary loss for literally no reason, when in reality, you should have just been patient and avoided trading today. Now, one thing you can do to make sure that your patience actually improves is you need to have such high confidence on your strategy. Now, a few ways to actually become more confident on your strategy is to first of all backtest it. Actually see that this works. Actually find out winning examples, and when you see that winning examples do occur, which of course they will do, then you already should have a bit more confidence on your strategy, and you should understand that the best thing to do as a trader is to be patient and wait for the best possible setups. There's no point trading when it's not a high quality setup, for example, like on this day here, right? If it's against the higher time frame, if it's on a Monday, if the demand zones aren't that strong, why are you trading? And then another thing to improve your patience is you need to understand, guys, that the markets aren't going anywhere. Like, if you don't go and trade for a whole week or a whole month, it's not the end of the world. And people are so worried all the time about, oh, I didn't trade this week, or I didn't trade today. Am I doing something wrong? Bro, if anything, you're doing something right, because you understand that there is not an opportunity every single day. You have to be patient and you have to wait for your setups to occur. If you're going to sit here and try and trade every day, that's going to be your downfall. You need to understand, guys, that setups are going to come every single week, every single month. There will eventually be a setup for your strategy, and you have to be patient enough to just wait for that to happen. So guys, let's go ahead now and look on Tuesday, and we're gonna see what happened on Tuesday. And by the way, I didn't end up trading Tuesday. I was really close to actually entering this trade, but you'll see, guys, that I didn't end up taking it. And unfortunately, I didn't end up making any money on Tuesday, but it was a very good position. And if I had taken it, wow, it would have been good. But it just didn't fit my strategy exactly as I wanted. So I didn't end up trading it. And yet again, that's all about patience, guys. I was patient enough to wait and know what I wanted to see. And even though I missed the trade, right? Even though what I wanted to see didn't happen and I did end up missing the trade, at least I was patient enough to say, you know what? This is what I want to see, and this is what I'm going to enter off. And if I don't see this, I'm not going to enter. That's what you have to be like as a trader. And it's unfortunate because, as you guys will see, right? We took out Asian low here. We took out the previous day low here as well. And then we tapped into this demand zone here, right? Which was actually an hourly demand zone, really strong demand zone here. And of course, guys, the higher time frame, like I said, was bullish, right? I was looking for buys, and that's exactly what I was looking for on Tuesday. Now, the unfortunate thing is I didn't end up taking a buy here. And the reason why is because my entry model wasn't met. But you know what, guys? I stuck to my plan. I was patient to wait for what I wanted to see. And it's not a big deal, right? Because I understand that trades are going to come and trades are going to go. I'm going to get a trade next week. I'm going to get a trade next month, next year. Who cares? Like, trades are always going to be there. The market's not going anywhere. So if you miss a setup, if you're, worried about missing a trade or something like that, you need to understand, guys, the market's not going anywhere. It's literally not going anywhere. And if you're gonna worry about that, then I don't know what to tell you, bro. So guys, you have to be patient enough to wait for those A-class setups. And if you happen to miss it, then that's okay, because setups are gonna be there tomorrow or next week. It doesn't really matter. So guys, let's go ahead and look now for Wednesday, and we'll see what I was looking for Wednesday, okay? So if we play out price here, okay, let's stop it right there. Now, first thing to note is the Asian range itself was very, very big. When Asian range is very big, very high in volume, typically London session is going to be lower in volume, okay? That's just normally what happens. If Asian range is big volume, London session, the session after Asian session, is normally going to be low volume. Now, with this in mind, guess what? Guess what? Have a think. If I know that London session, my session I want to trade, is going to be low volume, I'm not going to trade it, right? I'm going to be patient enough to wait for a better day. That's what you have to do as a trader, okay? You have to be so self-disciplined and understand your strategy to a very good level, so that you understand what you're meant to be looking for, sorry. And if you don't see that, you don't trade. That's the key to success. Now, for example, what I was looking for was this demand zone, okay? Even though, right, like I said, there was going to be low volume in London, I still did mark this out just to sort of monitor it. But as you guys will see, right, there was really no volume. We came up, we came down. We were just basically ranging for a good 5 hours. And at that point, I just came off of the charts. I deleted my levels. I deleted my limits, my alerts, everything. I deleted it because I was like, you know what? Let's just come off the charts today and let's wait for Thursday. So after Wednesday, right, you can see that we clearly were pushing very, very high into the supply zone. And then on Thursday, yet again, I was still looking for buys because I hadn't seen that confirmation yet that we were gonna go lower. So I was only looking for buys. And yet again, what I did is draw out my level of demand, which in this example was actually this level right here. Now, this I believe was an hourly demand zone. Yeah, so it was an hourly demand zone. We tapped into it. And what I was essentially looking for was a retest of this zone and then a continuation higher. Okay, so that was my thought process for Thursday. I wanted to see price come back into this, take out Asian low right here, and then look to trade higher. Now, as you will see, that doesn't end up happening. And we end up basically just doing nothing until news came out at, I think, 1:30. And then as you can see, after that news came out, it completely invalidated this demand zone right here. So of course I did not look to trade on Thursday because my demand zone was completely invalidated. As you can see, when price came into here, there was so much selling pressure, so much selling pressure that there was no point trading this demand zone at all. And yet again, because of patience, because of understanding the markets, I was able to leave Thursday, avoid a silly loss on Thursday and avoid a silly loss on Wednesday. And I was able to basically now wait for Friday. Now, what I want to show you guys quickly is my private community, Trading Edge Mastery, and show you guys that I call this out every single day live with them on my live trading call, okay? So let's scroll down here and let's actually go to Thursday, right? The day that we were just speaking about right here. Thursday predictions. I did my live trading call in the morning. I send in that call recording into the group so they can all rewatch it. And then I send in a screenshot of what I'm looking for, which is exactly what I marked out right here, okay? Now, of course, this didn't end up getting respected, okay? But that's fine because they all would have known that after news came out, it would have disrespected this, and that's when they need to come off the charts and leave it for Friday. Now, I'll get onto Friday in a second, but yet again, on Friday, guys, you can see right here, if I scroll up, I sent in my Friday predictions, and it actually ended up playing out absolutely perfectly. You can see here, I drew out the supply zone, and in a second, guys, I'll go and I'll show you what happened on Friday and how this zone here was literally respected perfectly. And a few members of my community took this trade purely based off my analysis, which I sent into them in the morning. So let's go to the final day of the week now, to Friday, and show you guys exactly what I was looking for on Friday, okay? The first thing to mention is after seeing this massive selling pressure on Thursday, I had now changed my bias and I was now focused on looking for sells. So of course, if I'm looking for sells, I'm going to mark out supply zones and only be focused on if we take out the Asian high, which was up here, okay? So I drew out my Asian high, I waited for price to come into a supply zone here, and then I looked to take a sell, something like this, okay? That's what I was looking for, and if we play out price, you guys will see that this happened absolutely perfectly, okay? And as I mentioned before, I sent in a screenshot of this exact thing to my community, which you guys can see yet again, guys. Where is it? Right here. Okay, send this in exactly just like this, and you can see here, boom, happens perfectly. And that's just a result of patience. That's just a result of waiting for my zones, and only when it comes into the zone, that's when you can then go in with confidence, go in and take the trade, okay? And if I go to the 1 minute here, I'll show you guys how you could have entered this trade. So if I go up and show you, change of character would have been right here. Your entry would have been somewhere down here. And then your stop loss would have been above the high. And if you had targeted the previous low, which is going to be this one down here, that is about a 1 to 3.7, about 1 to 4. And that was, of course, smashed. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't take this trade, okay? The reason why I didn't take it is because it happened too late in the day for me. It happened around 3:30 p.m. UK time, but for me that's about 10:30 p.m. Thailand time, and it's too late in the day for me. I normally just trade London session, and unfortunately I wasn't able to take this trade either, which is what it is, guys. It's yet again annoying, okay? However, I understand that these trades are going to come around all the time. I'm not worried. Patience is not an issue for me because I understand that trades are going to happen every single day, every single week. There's going to be a trade for me. And if I didn't trade this week, which I didn't, then next week I'll find the trade. And I'm not worried, guys, at all, because I understand that there's never going to be a week or a month where there's no opportunities in the market, because that's just not how it goes. There's always opportunities, guys, and you need to understand that. So I'd much rather you guys who are watching this video be more patient and take less trades than try and force trades every single day, because that's the key to becoming successful. Now guys, as I mentioned before, I trade live with my community every single day during London session, and I send in my points of interest every day as well, so that they're able to catch trades like this. Even if I can't, right? Even if I'm sleeping, my community still prints because I send in the trades every single day so that they can catch these as well. And if you're looking to join something like this, guys, hit the link in the description to join my Trading Edge Mastery community, and hopefully I'll see you inside. So guys, that basically wraps up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that going into March, you guys make an effort to become more patient in your trading, because if you can literally reduce the amount of trades you take every single day or every single week and focus on the highest quality setups, I guarantee you, I guarantee you, your trading will improve. It can't not improve. If you trade less, you're going to take less losing trades as a result of trading less. And that means you can focus now on taking higher quality setups, which is going to mean you're going to win more and make more money and pass more funded accounts. It's just going to happen, guys. Your trading will improve, but it's all about patience and it's all about trading less. Okay, less is more in trading. And if this video helped you out, if you learned something from it, hit that subscribe button, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.